If you're a steelhead angler and you find yourself fishing smaller waters, streams, smaller rivers and such, maybe in the Great Lakes or in the Pacific Northwest, California, Oregon, or Washington, arguably the most effective way to catch steelhead is nymph fishing. And if that's you, I'm holding what I consider to be one of the greatest outfits, rod, reel, and line, to get the job done. So you probably think I'm going to start talking about the fly rod first. In fact, I'll start with the fly line. The reason is when you're nymph fishing, commonly you have some indicator, some extra weight, a split shot or so, and maybe a couple of larger flies. And all of that equals more mass, more weight, more wind resistance, and so on. And you got to remember one thing about a fly line, it's the vehicle for delivery. So as the mass of your fly or your rig goes up, so too must the weight of your fly line. Our favorite line to use when nymph fishing is made by Airflow. It's called the rangefinder. And yes, it's a 7-weight, so it has plenty of mass to kick over the indicator, split shot, and flies you commonly use when you're nymph fishing. It also is a longer belly, and the belly is the weight forward portion of the fly line. Great things happen with a longer belly when you're nymph fishing. As far as casting, you can always do roll casts, overhead and underhand. It's a great casting fly line, but after the cast, the good news begins because that longer belly allows you to mend, which is adjusting your fly line, so that you get a good natural drift. The natural drift's key to catching fish. So that fly line's super important. Well, now that we have the right fly line, we need a rod that's going to deliver the right amount of energy to properly cast the line. And the rig, the nymph rig that we have. What I'm holding here is the Red Truck Diesel 10-foot 7-weight fly rod. At 10 feet, it's marvelous for fishing tighter water where you have limited back cast room and so on. And again, overhead casting, underhand casting, roll casting, and even single-hand spay casting, it's a dream. As a 7-weight, it's light enough you can fish it all day. You don't feel like you're dragging around iron, but it still has plenty of power to deliver the goods as far as casting, but also when you hook that big chrome fish, it's got plenty of power in the butt section to land it. As far as the small things on the fly rod that we like here, the cork grip, super high quality, has a unique shape so it's comfortable in your hand all day. Fully machined and anodized reel seat. Quality, it's not going to degrade over time. But really what a quality rod comes down to is the design. The taper of this rod is enjoyable to cast. I'd describe it as a moderate fast action rod. And so what that allows you to do is if you need a little extra pepper in your cast, it's there for you, but it's not a stiff rod. Component package, top shelf, nothing to worry about. Fun things I like about the rod are the classic finish. We went with the old snake belly finish. You can kind of feel it on your fingernail. It's just a classic looking rod. But little things weren't missed either. What we have here are unpolished ferrules, and the ferrule is where the rod pieces join together. Even with a single hand rod, there's still plenty of torque that occurs, whether you're overhead casting, especially if you're two-hand casting or spay casting, even with your single hand rod. This unpolished ferrule, when it joins with the other section, really holds its place, so you don't get that wiggle in the rod midday. Anytime the ferrules start to get loose, that's a great way to break a rod. All in all, it's a wonderful rod, enjoyable to cast. Now, we need a place to hold the fly line. Any fly reel stores fly line, that is a fact, but this one's kind of fun. When you're steelhead fishing, there's a little nod to tradition, and cosmetically this reel speaks to that. Looks very classic in my hand, something my grandfather would definitely approve of. But what's fun about this is the dimension of the reel. It's larger in diameter, and it's thinner in width. And what you get from that is you effectively turn this reel into a large arbor fly reel. Larger diameter when I'm cranking, faster line gain, but you still have the same classic cosmetics. It doesn't look like a large arbor fly reel. Of course, it's fully machined and anodized, so it's going to last a very long time. Drag system's fun too. Sticking with the classic theme, it's a click and pull drag system. Proven, works great. You can adjust the pressure on the drag system. You can convert the reel left to right-hand retrieve very easily. Put it all together and you have the right fly line for the job, the right rod to cast that fly line, and a real cool reel to get the job done when you're out steelhead fishing. They all work together. You don't have to second guess it. So if you want to do some steelhead fishing on smaller streams, primarily nymph fishing, you definitely want to check out the Red Truck Diesel 10-foot 7-weight, the full outfit. Good luck on the water, and here's to catching steelhead.